All right, and I believe that is going to be Finesse. Let me go ahead and get him in here in the call. Welcome, Finesse.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good. Let's go ahead and get you some visuals on what's going on screen. In fact, let me change that up just a little bit so you can see something a little bit better. But yes, our drivers are currently out with the pace car. We have Darius and Gergo up in the front, although I did see Gergo set pole position. I'm not too sure why it is showing Darius in first, but they're
He
both on the
he
front of
might
that grid
just
regardless.
he might just be right in front of him.
That's what it looks like for sure. Let me go ahead. This should be what you need to see. Perfect. Let me do this. Ooh, come on. Perfect. Well, welcome, Finesse. It's glad to have you here with your, as you are the host of Shift E Racing, but that is going to be the green flag. Gergo and Darius are going to lead the pack into the first turn down the hill.
Oh man.
A beautiful start, although we are seeing the number 143 car start to blink out a little bit. That is going to be Ty Simon. Hopefully he's not having too many connection issues tonight. Hasn't been an issue in the past. And that is going to be the number 2 car of green, aka Kavan.
We do have a couple people that will be blinking intermittently, but they do have solid connections. They're all connected to the same Wi-Fi. Those are our Porkies guys.
Yes, as I was mentioning before Finesse joined us here, we have a couple of racers racing out of different parts of the world today, but a majority of them are going to be out of that Texas, Houston area. And a beautiful start so far, no incidents. I may have seen a little bit of bumper to bumper, but a beautiful start from everybody so far.
It's looking good out there right now.
And as we said, we are looking at an hour on the clock today. If you look at the top right-hand side, that is going to be our session remaining timer. So as that timer clicks down, we're going to see how these drivers are able to progress throughout the race. Entering into the end of the first lap now, our drivers are coming through. Gergo is still holding the lead from that pole position he set, but Darius is right behind him.
Yeah, he had a faster time, but the time wasn't fast enough that he's just going to be pulling away, especially with the amount of draft these cars do produce. I mean, they've got a pretty decent slipstream. So,
And especially at a track like this with plenty of downhill. Ooh, that looks like the number 2 car of green is in the wall. He's doing good to stay on the brakes, though, as the other cars pass. He has reset to the pits, and that is going to be the number 15, I believe, I saw spinning out behind him. Not too sure why the camera has been focused on this. Let's go ahead and get that fixed. There we go. So I guess I spoke a little too soon. The start of the race had a little bit of chaos to it.
yeah, this is going to be an interesting one.
So I believe the number 15 car that spun out is going to be Jeremy Spencer Dunn, unfortunately. That's going to drop him back down to, I think, 13th place at the moment. I just realized.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to see how tires and fuel are managed. It is an hour-long race, so we've got a mixed bag at the moment in terms of how people are approaching it. I know a couple of people for sure are going to try to stick it out the full hour, you know, on the same tires and without ever having to pit for fuel. So, not sure how that will
Definitely.
work out with the new tire model that these guys have implemented.
It's definitely going to come down to how aggressive they are on those tires. As I was saying, Speed here did actually have a mistake just a moment ago. If you did catch that, Brady was able to overtake. But Speed, while he is notoriously fast, he's a little bit aggressive on his tires at times. So a driver like himself may be seeing that pit stop happening.
Yeah,
And
and
following behind him is Angelo. He's been doing a wonderful job in the Bayou City Cup series hosted by Shift E Racing. I'm sure today he wants to make a mark with the rest of the Shift E racers.
oh yeah, Angelo has definitely proven that he's got good pace. It'll be interesting to see how he stacks up to drivers that don't live in his zip code.
And we have plenty of representation here as we said, while a majority of the drivers are out of that Texas area, plenty of them do come from around mostly the United States, with the exception, I know, of Darius being the Canadian himself.
Oh man, some
And
close racing on the.
I just saw that. He was trying to get on the bumper of Brady there, definitely putting the pressure on.
Now, just
Ooh,
a
and it sounds like behind there may have been a spin. I heard some tires sliding off camera. Although taking a look at the track map, I don't see any crazy drop off in pace, so may have not been a major incident. But now we are with the 007 car of Jesus Zabala, currently being chased down by Matthew Warwas. And aside from Gergo in the front, leading the pack by a 3-second gap, there's not too many huge gaps throughout the pack, aside from, it looks like Angelo may have dropped off a little bit.
I believe Gergo, if I'm not mistaken, Gergo is from Europe.
Ah, good. So we got even more representation than we normally see in the shifty racing group.
And we've even got somebody from the Virgin Islands in this race today. So there's definitely widespread representation today.
And we love to see it. Beautiful pace from all the drivers here. We know they've been putting in lots of practice throughout the last month.
Yeah, it's been about 6 weeks now. This first race, they were going to have a couple of extra weeks of practice as we tried to dial in everything for the league. And normally they're only going to have 3 weeks. You know that these races are run the last Sunday of every month, so they're basically going to have 3 weeks every month to get in there and practice with each other. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Now Gergo, he actually joined today. I was sitting at home getting some stuff ready, and
Oh, and it looks like Darius may have gone off the track. Sorry to interrupt, but that is going to be devastating for Darius. He had quite the pace.
oh no, that's never good. Well, he certainly has pace. As long as he didn't damage his car too much, he's very likely to get back up there and give these boys a fight. But he certainly
From what I
made
could
things
see,
interesting for himself.
yeah, from what I could see, I don't think there was any damage. It looked like it was simply a spin out because none of the other cars were flying or kicking any debris anywhere. And I'm not seeing the pace drop off yet, but he will be having to fight back up to those podium positions for sure with that 50 minutes remaining.
It's looking like a pretty close race. What I will say about this track is there's quite a bit of elevation change. These setups are very likely running some pretty high downforce, and so I'm expecting some tire deg. I'm expecting quite a bit of it too.
And it looks like he might be trying to put on the pressure here. He was flashing his lights. I don't know if it was an attempt to distract him or if he was a little frustrated there. Again, this is the 007 car that we're following of Jesus Zabala. He's currently chasing after Cody Canady with Matthew right behind him. And what I think I'm also loving to see today is we're seeing a good representation of the different GT3 cars available. Looking at our
Yeah,
top 10, Ferrari is currently showing a little bit more favoritism, but I do see 2 Fords on that list, as well as 2 McLarens. There's
they're
definitely a good variety showing throughout that top 10 section here, but in total, as I said earlier, we do have 14 drivers on the track.
What I will say, and all the time that we put in practice wise, the uh, the front engine cars seem to be a lot more planted than everything else. Now, does that translate into pace? Does that translate into anything other than, it's easier to drive? Not 100% sure, but it's looking like a Ferrari is holding it down right now, and that engine is not in the front.
That's for sure. What I was thinking myself is when you have more of that weight in the front, when you're coming up to turns like turn 1 here and turn 3, it's going to help plant the car's front tires down to keep that momentum going into the turn, unlike those rear engine or mid engine cars. But however, when you're not being chased down or not trying to fight another car, that rear engine, you're able to just put out a little bit more with it.
They
Gargo's definitely showing that off right now, but Cody Canady is also doing a wonderful job chasing after, leading Jesus here.
Oh, we got some time drop off from Gergo. That gap went from 5 seconds to 2.8 just now.
There definitely is something interesting going on with him. We'll go ahead and check real quick as I don't see him on our track map. He seems to be the... Oh, no, there he is. Okay, he's leading down the straight there. He's just not appearing on our circle map for some reason. Interesting.
And Brady Carrico is making his presence known at the moment in the rear view for sure. He's definitely approaching pretty quickly. We could be dealing with some damage potentially, even the way that this time is dropping off.
Then again, it could just be a method to save the tires. We do still have, again, 5/6 of this race left, so they definitely have some time to do a little tire saving once they've gotten that lead advantage. But right now, the producers seem to be focused here on Jesus. They can't get enough of him in this moment as he continues to be chased down by Matthew. And Matthew's doing a good job. While he hasn't quite closed the gap on that bumper, I haven't seen it widen either.
Yeah, these guys are racing right now. This is some good action. The cameraman seems to be fixated on these guys right here, and I see why. The gap between them is very narrow. One mistake from any of these guys, and we're talking position changes.
And as they come down the backstretch, this really is the perfect place to try to make a move, but it seems like he's not getting the benefit of the draft as much as he needs to chase after Jesus in that 007.
Oh, looks like
And they're going to have more trouble in a moment as Darius is starting to make his way towards them.
looks like the number 7 car is stopped in the middle of the track. I'm not sure if you can see that as well.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be an issue on the track map itself. If you take a look at the circle map, that is the car of Darius.
Okay,
so it seems to be there's some mild errors going on with the number 1 car on our circular map and Darius on the track map. But as long as we take a look at our splits, that's going to be the most accurate information. And Darius you could see him right there. He's chasing after with that Shift E Racing livery. These two are going to be in for quite a scare when they realize how much pace he can have on them in that Ford.
He is within DRS range.
It'd definitely be an interesting concept to see that in a GT series at some point.
Yeah, I mean, the way that the technology is going these days, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. This is some good racing, man.
Yeah, these two have really shown what a good race can look like when you're in similar skill brackets. Because if you take a look at our standings as well, both these drivers are B-rated drivers at the moment. Or I apologize. Or yes, they are both B-rated drivers. And while they do have a little bit of difference in I rating, they're showing that their skill is able to put up a good fight between the two of them. Although Darius now slipping in between the two of them, he's going to be making his move here shortly. He's not afraid to take a dive around the outside.
Is certainly sending it. That was
a beautiful switchback down the hill. I thought he was going to set it up around the outside. He has home advantage here, being the Canadian he is. Although he loses the grip going out onto the grass. I don't know if that was netcode or simply just losing the grip.
That was just some good old-fashioned racing right there. He was sending it. And knowing him, he will be eager to get up to the front as quickly as possible.
Most definitely. And taking a look at it now, this is going to give the number 38 of Matthew a chance to give another attempt at Jesus. He's a lot closer this time, too, it looks like, after Speed or Darius kind of opened up the gap for him.
Speed.
Darius Speed Timms. But he definitely needs to put the speed in his name to work if he wants to get back to that podium position again.
Yeah, he's got some work to do. He's got to get around both of these cars. He was close. He was close.
Thankfully, he didn't have any damage from that mistake, so he does have a good setup going for him to chase after these two once more. And looking at it, I think he's going to be able to get at them in the next 3 or 4 turns if he's able to keep up this pace.
Yeah, they are holding each other up is what it looks like, pace-wise. If they can manage to, if the faster guy can manage to get by it, they may have a shot at avoiding this fight. But honestly, with his pace just outright, I wouldn't be surprised if within the next
Even
couple
just
laps,
right there, you can see he's carrying a little bit more momentum out of the out of the top of the hill there. And now he definitely is in that drafting range as you see him pull to the inside of Matthew. Is it going to be enough, though? Yes, it is. There it is. That's going to be the overtake. Right there. And there he is, through on Matthew in the BMW.
He is absolutely sending that Mustang.
We often like to joke that Mustangs are only known for driving fast in a straight line, but Darius is proving otherwise today.
This Mustang can turn. Now it's just a matter of time if he can put the work on Mr. Jesus here.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
I don't know if that was a tap on the rear end causing a slide or what.
Now, he does have a little bit of damage there. I did see him make some contact with the wall.
And it looks like Ty's going to take advantage. Oh, no. Oh, thank God. Ty almost causing another incident right after. But he's able to make the overtake on Matthew. That's going to be unfortunate. He's dropped 2 positions just in this one lap alone.
Oh, it is always a pleasure watching Ty run around the track.
And Matthew is really getting the attention of the camera today. Even though he's dropped down a few places, he's definitely still in the biggest fights of the race at the moment. And I'm sure this isn't any more favorable for him as he's probably seeing what we're seeing now.
Yes,
it looks like Ty is just not able to have a stable connection.
That is definitely something that would get on my nerves. I know for a fact if I was just a couple feet away from a driver and he was blinking in and out like that.
Ooh, and a mistake from Ty is going to cause him to go off into the grass, but now we are on board with the number 14 car, as well as what looks to be the number 66. I believe these are going to be some of our... Oh, no, these are our front runners. It looks like this is actually an overtake on a back marker. That is Gergo in the lead at the moment. If I take a look at my notes, the number 14 car is that belonging to Brandon Sizemore, who is currently running in 12th place off of the current leaderboard.
He is keeping it clean, trying to keep it consistent.
And now we're currently watching the number 13 car. This is, again, one of our back markers. I believe that is going to be... Is that a 13? That is 13. That is going to be Noel. And here we go, seeing Angela. Well, I guess not. The producer changed his mind once again. There's so much action on the track now.
There is a lot
the drivers
going
have settled
on.
into their pace.
There is a lot going on the track right now.
So as we take a look, that is going to be... I am unsure whose vehicle that is. I don't see a number plainly displayed on it.
That is Mr. Matt Young.
Okay, yep. Taking a look at the position of the car, that is going to be the 10th place position on the side. I love that they have those. Just as a spectator, it's very interesting to see the position of the car just planted right on the side of it in live time. But here we are now with the number 12 of Cody, trying to hold on to that 3rd place position from Angelo. Angelo has shown that he can get onto the podium positions in other series. But Cody is coming out as the star today. I think this has been one of his best runs so far in any Shift E racing event.
He's definitely comfortable in that car. You can tell.
When we come back, we can see that Darius is still attempting to make the pass on Jesus now.
It's honestly incredible, the amount of pace that Darius has. He has had 2 mishaps, and he is still fighting the way that he is.
Not only that, but he's almost, if he can make this pass, he's in the top 3rd of the group. And that's going to do it. I believe he just made the pass in the inside before our camera cut away. We're now seeing the number 8 car. That is going to be the car of Brady Carrico, who is currently running in 2nd place.
He is making his pass on the back marker at the moment.
And again, that back marker is going to be the number 14 of Brandon Sizemore, who is currently running in 12th place. Although I just took a look at our leaderboard, and it looks like Noel has made a pass on Matt Young in the last lap. And Dunn and Simon are also catching up in those 9th and 8th place positions as well. As we see, Cody is continuing to be chased down by Angelo in the Ford. Making their way into the next lap. We have 40 minutes remaining on the clock, and these two have been putting on an impressive show despite... Ooh! There's 2 cars off track.
There.
I believe
Looks
that
like
was going to be...
That is Gergo off track right there.
Oh, you are right. He just dropped down in position. We'll have to make sure in the highlights that we capture that fully to see what happened, but we see them back on track now. It looked like this car was also off-road for a moment, the back marker again of Brandon Sizemore. But I'm not too sure if that's who I saw or not.
Yeah, it was just for a split second. I'm not sure who we saw.
Speaking of action, on top of all that action, Angelo has made the attempt and made it work to pass Cody. Now Cody is in the position of the attacker.
Oh, these boys are going to send it. These boys are going to send it. I haven't had much time spent with these two, but in the time that I have spent, they have proven themselves to be quick and consistent. So this is definitely going to be a fight worth watching.
This is now my 3rd race watching these two specifically, and as far as Angelo, I can definitely say he is a strong contender here in the Shift E Racing Series. However, Cody has had some mixed results, but he definitely has the pace. I think all he needs to nail down is a little bit of consistency, which so far in this race, he's showing he has it. Despite being overtaken by Angelo, he still is keeping on him.
I mean, that thing is intimidating. I imagine he just let it by so he wouldn't have to see it in his rearview mirror anymore, man. That thing is crazy.
I know I'd be a little bit scared of that Ferrari seeing a humongous Ford just chasing after me.
Yeah.
Especially one running a Navy livery like that. That's a man to be afraid of.
If the pass won't do it, the gun will.
And here we come back. This is going to be the number 8 car of Brady, who's currently leading the race. He got to take advantage of whatever happened earlier with, oh my gosh, his Gergo. It's an interesting name. I've never heard of that before, but it's a fun one, that's for sure.
It's certainly European.
And behind him, it looks like Matt Young has managed to get back his 10th place position, although he did not take it back from Noel. Noel is currently keeping his position in 9th, chasing after the 8th place position of Dunn, although that's going to take him a while as he does have a fairly large gap.
Now,
But
what I will say is I am fairly impressed with Brady Carrico at this moment. Not only is he driving one of the most difficult cars to get a hold on right now after the tire model update, but this kid's 14 years old.
that's a 14-year-old?
That is a 14-year-old.
Was it NASCAR that recently also had something similar where a 14-year-old won was it Watkins Glen?
I I don't follow the series close enough, but I can tell you right
It's
now,
crazy what teenagers are doing these days in any form of motorsports.
he is an OG member of Shift. He's been there pretty much since the beginning, or since Forza Horizon days, and he's pretty much followed us all the way through. But the first chance he got to get on iRacing, he never left. He's
Ooh, and Matt Young making a mistake that's going to lead him from the grass to the road and into the barrier.
oh no.
But that is seriously impressive. And yeah, it was Tristan McKee who recently won at Watkins Glen in his ARCA debut. So not only was he a 14-year-old winning at Watkins Glen, it was his debut race.
That is
And so far,
incredible.
Brady is doing the same here today. His debut race with the RoadMaster Racing Series. He is putting on an impressive show.
He is making it happen. And he actually has a little bit of real life racing experience in RC cars. So not even a full chassis race car, and this young man has got some serious pace. Very proud of
Now,
him.
that's something I can relate to, though. I've done a bit of RC racing myself. It's very enjoyable. While it's a little bit different depending on the scale that you're running, it's very fun and creates some interesting ideas for how to race.
The closest thing I've ever done to RC racing is I don't know if anybody will recall Zip Zaps back in the day from Radio
That is
Shack.
an older brand, yeah.
And that is not RC car racing, but that is as close as I ever got.
I believe at the moment the most I have are some 1/16th and 1/24th scale RC cars because I run what's called Mini Z, which is literally can fit almost in the palm of your hand, but we run mostly GT frames like this. They have highly detailed hard body plastic frames that you can see in all the popular GT3 models and even some prototype models. They have my favorite, the Mazda not the RX, 878B. No. Oh my God, I'm getting 878. I'm forgetting it for some reason, but the famous prototype Mazda with the rotary engine, all kinds of cool things.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
8708. Yeah, it's 8708B. I don't know why my brain couldn't process that. But as we take a look here again, we are on board currently with the number 14 car of, again, Brandon Sizemore as he blinks out of existence briefly. Followed by what looks to be the number 5 car of who I believe is James McCormick, who is running in 14th place. These are our bottom two drivers, but currently they're providing the most action.
Yeah, they are on each other's tails at the moment.
Although, what a pass!
Wow.
Oh my gosh, in the grass, he's able to do that. That was an insane move, and you can tell it threw James for a loop as he kind of goes wide into the next turn.
Man, the nugs on that guy. The car's blinking in front of him, and he still sends it to all hell.
I have to respect it. As a man who loves to do the same as you've experienced earlier this week, that was an incredible pass despite the risk.
That was honestly very impressive.
I thought he wasn't going to make the braking zone. That was insane. I was not expecting that from the backmarker of this race.
Man, so it's looking like Garrigo has taken a pretty big hit when it comes to position for this race. He is in 10th place at the moment.
Although we definitely can't count him out quite yet.
You got
as we saw with Darius.
Is he still on the lead lap?
I believe so. He's only down. Well, no, actually, taking a look at it, he's in 10th place. Yes, at the moment they are Overlapped, yeah.
Man.
But here we are back on board with Cody Canady, who's going off the track. Thankfully, he missed the
Oh,
barrier by just a few inches, but I think that's
no
going to allow
damage.
Garrigo to overtake that as a back marker. That must have been terrifying for Cody.
Garrigo is in the process of unlapping himself. Now, hopefully he can get around everybody he needs to safely so he can give these boys a race. Man, it has been an interesting run so far. That we are approaching the midway
And another
point
driver
here of
off the
the race.
track.
Midway point here in the race, and I mean, hey, to be fair, Garrigo still has an opportunity at some serious position if he didn't have to spend too long in the pits. Now, I know he's lapped, but a lot of these guys are going to have to pit. This is an hour-long race. I don't think many people were planning on running the same tires the entire time.
I
So
definitely would be surprised if they are, especially after some of the spinouts that some of these drivers have experienced.
we're going to see what exactly transpires. I honestly, I can see that specific situation benefiting Darius, Dunn. It looks like Dunn just overtook somebody in position. So did Darius. Something has
Yeah, it
happened to
looks like
Jesus.
Jesus may be either pitting or he had an incident.
Oh,
No, he is
Jesus is
pitting.
in the pits. He is in the pits. He could very well be pitting for gas.
And if you take a notice, Cody did the same, actually. Cody has dropped into the pits as well and has dropped down to 8th place for that. So it looks like they're going for the 50-50 strat. They're going to take 50% of one tire, and then 50% of the race on the other tire.
I'm not surprised that there was a lot of talk about a 50-50 strategy. So we'll see exactly how that works out for these guys.
It seems they're one of the first to make the choice, which may be the right move. However, personally, I think myself, I would probably try to save it till at least the 40-minute mark, with only 20 minutes remaining on the clock, as you want to get as much out of those fresh tires with as little in the gas tank as possible to really maximize the pace. But if you're losing pace before that 20 or that 40-minute mark, then it definitely is something you could consider that you may want to take those tires sooner.
It may be, yeah, I was going to say, it may be a sign of tire deg. You know, we might be dealing with some serious tire deg at this situation.
And at the moment, that is going to be the number 13 car of Knoll, currently running in 9th place. But behind him is the leader of this race, Brady. The blue flag will be coming out shortly, especially with the pace that Brady is still carrying. And that car is staying planted. I don't know if you've noticed that when the camera cuts to him. I don't see the rear end of that thing going anywhere other than where it's supposed to.
Well, he is definitely, absolutely sending it. There's no doubt about it. When we first started this series, I'd say about six weeks ago, the Porsche was actually the car that I was running. So for about 2 weeks, I was practicing with the Porsche, and I could not get that chassis down, man. It felt unpredictable. There, especially, you know, on a course like this, you really got to be careful on a course like this with the amount of elevation changes and whatnot. You're transferring the weight a lot in places that the track wants to kill you essentially. And I struggled. I struggled with that car and taming it. And he is showing right now that maybe there was no need for my struggle. It's
And Kavan being a little bit, giving him a little bit of pressure. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that. They got pretty close and he managed to clear him pretty good there. No, I don't think these two are on the same lap, and it doesn't look like it.
Oh no,
So,
Kavan is down. He is in 12th place at the moment, so he is one of our back markers that is off the leaderboard.
Ideally, he allots the space, make sure that Brady does not get clipped or anything of that nature. Man, he is using every single inch of that track. I see an inch of his tire dip off sometimes, but that's it. It looks like he is absolutely glued right here.
And while the
Very,
camera hasn't been giving it much attention, we do have to take note again of Darius. He's slowly making his way back up. He's only in 5th now. So he's in that top third percentage of the group.
now what I will say, there is a 30-second gap between first and second. So it's looking like Brady has got it in the bag as long as he can keep it consistent and he can hold it down.
And it looks like Kevon is coming in for a tire strategy now. And here's a car we have not seen for almost the entirety of this race. That is going to be the number 15, I believe.
That is Mr. Dunn
It's
in the
Jeremy Spencer Dunn.
in the Buc-ee's livery. Now, if you're from Texas, you're very familiar with Buc-ee's.
Heck, my son, we're not even from Texas. My son has a Bucky shirt.
Look, that they've gotten at the point, I'm sure now that they're widespread popularity. There is no better gas station to stop at when you got to take a number 2.
And it seems I've summoned his presence as we're now seeing Darius attempting to overtake one of the back markers. That is going to be the 11th place position of Matt Young. You can see him flashing to let him through. And we know speed here. Darius here, he's going to get a little impatient when he's trying to make pace.
I can hear him now.
Get out of the way!
Exactly. If he's flashing his lights at you, he wants to be by you.
But I can't blame him. He only has a 2-second gap to Dunn in front of him. He definitely wants to get to the top 3 like he was at the start of the race. Ooh, and a little bit loose on the wheels behind him. Ooh, is that a collision for Angelo? I don't think so, but I don't see him coming through. I think Angelo did, in fact, make a little bit of contact with one of the cars that spun out as a back marker.
It is very likely that he did.
I'm sure he's not happy about that either because he is trying to make the chase on Darius now.
Now, luckily, it doesn't seem like he's going to lose too much pace off of that. He's still hanging around the 3.5 second mark in terms of interval. So hopefully that didn't hold him up too much. That Ferrari was pretty much covering the whole track there.
And funny enough, another spin out from the number 11th position car. That is going to be unfortunate.
Mr. Matthew is struggling to get that car down.
Yeah, so it's going to be Matt Young. Not to be confused with Matthew Warwas.
Not to be confused with Matthew Warwas, who is holding down second place as
also
well
with
as
a beautiful gap.
Yeah, there's quite a gap there, actually, and it is honestly very refreshing to see Mr. Ty Simon and Mr. Jeremy Dunn putting in some work up there near the front of the pack. Now, when I tell you these two have been practicing every single week, that is not a lie. These guys have been
see him in the
chats. They've been putting in the work to make sure that they got the time and they know what they're doing. So they are very comfortable here at this track at this point. It would be wonderful to see either of them come out on podium.
But we do have to keep in mind some of our drivers have not taken a pit stop yet, and while it is not mandatory, it is typically expected with the tire deck we're seeing so far.
And there goes another pass. Man, he is absolutely sending it. He wants that top 10 position. He's after it.
He still has some chasing to do. If I believe correctly, that is the number 5 car, correct? That's James McCormick. He still has some making up to do as he's in 14th place. He's actually at the bottom of the grid. I believe he's a lap down at the moment, if not 2 laps.
Man, gotta know what happened. Although
there's definitely going to be some coming to go through the highlights this time, as there's a lot that happened off screen that we didn't see today. So we'll make sure in those highlights that we are capturing those this time around.
the racing has been so close, they haven't even been focused on the incidents, man. There's been a lot of really close racing today.
Oh, and Darius has lost his tires in the rear end. He's finally experiencing that tire deg on the Ford.
And it's looking he's looking kind of lucky.
And that's going to give Angelo the chance to pass. It is Ford versus Ford now as Darius is getting back onto the track to chase him down.
I would have anticipated a pit there, to be honest.
Yes, we are 2/3 into the race now. This is my estimated stop time compared to the 30-minute stop time that some of the other drivers had.
I was definitely estimating a pit there. I was anticipating a pit. He was right there in front of the pit entry. So he must be pushing for the full race.
What I will say about pits, I think this is the ultimate opportunity for Brady to take his pit. If we take a look at the track map, Matthew behind him is still not even quite across the finish line yet. He's just making his way around the last turn. However, Brady is starting to make his way up into that double right-hander up the hill. So I believe if he really wants to make the most out of his race, he should get some new tires. Although he will have to be careful coming out on those colds. But so far, nobody has pitted at this 40-minute mark of the race. I'm very surprised, to be honest.
They are sending it and praying that those tires last. It's surprising. With the amount of downforce these cars are running and the track conditions, it's not cool out there. These are not cool track conditions. It's a warm day. So
yeah, definitely for sure. If we take a look
over
at our circle map. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, you're good, you're good. These tires are well over 200 degrees. I'll tell you that much. Just in all the time that I spent practicing, they are definitely hot. They're definitely feeling the degradation at this point. I'm surprised that more cars haven't pit. Now, we did see some pit. We did see some pit, and they are fighting back for their positions. Cody Kennedy was one of them. I believe Jesus was another.
Yes, both of them pitted together, and as you can see, their gap isn't too wide, although it looks like Jesus has been making a little bit more pace than Cody, as he has about 2.5 seconds on him now, compared to the second to second and a half that was happening earlier in the race. Although Darius is starting to make it happen as well. While he's not on screen, we can see that his gap to Angelo is starting to shorten down to closer to 1 second.
Now, if Brady really wanted to, he's got 30 seconds on second place. He could pit. He could take a fresh set of tires right now and still maintain his first place position. So
it looks like he might. I see him slowing down on the track map. He's not coming out of that turn. So yes, Brady is in the pits. If we take a look at the leaderboard, he is going to opt for the 45-minute strategy, which is also very viable. So he'll be running the last 15 or so minutes of this race on a fresh set of softs.
He's going for the death blow. That is some impressive driving from Brady Carrico. Now, he does have something to deal with here coming soon. He can't push the car the way that he was just pushing it. He's going to have to take it easy on those tires for at least a couple of laps. The new tire model is very unforgiving on cold tires.
Definitely, for sure. But no, we also have to consider now is Matthew's choice. He has made the overtake on Brady now in the pit section. However, is he going to make the choice to try to run the rest of the race on his tires he's running? Or will he have to make a pit stop as well?
I think his best bet is to send her. His best bet is
he wants that first place position for sure. Now, remind me again, I do believe that there is a a pot or a reward for this season? Is it per race or is it for the whole season?
So it is per race. There are payouts per race.
So there we go. There you have it. Matthew wants to chase the money. This is his chance, but it is going to be risky as we know those tires are starting to go, as we saw from drivers like Darius.
It seems like Brady has had an issue, and that is not anything that we've been able to see here, but he has fallen back quite a bit here. Hopefully he's able to recover it.
Currently he is behind Brandon Sizemore on the track, not too far off from Matthew. Oh no, I see what you mean. Yeah, he's down a lap. Or am I seeing this wrong? Where's the number 2 car on our track map here?
Now it's showing Brady Carrico is back in first place. I am a little confused.
So
here.
it looks like Matt has made the pit now. Matt has made the choice to pit. But that's going to be risky because this late in the race, unless the others pit, he's falling out of the chance to win a reward now. I don't know if that was worth it.
Not sure that was worth it. He's now
I think
behind
ideally,
Barry.
I think he needed to overcut the drivers that were behind him and wait for them to pit first.
Now, the only other thing I can think, the way he's dropping back is he potentially has some damage.
Although that was Ty Simon off the track briefly. The camera cut away before we could fully see it. So that is going to allow Jeremy to overtake. And that is done.
Now, I know for a fact Ty was planning on running one set of tires. So he could have lost his tires there.
Currently, this is going to be the number 38 car of Matthew Warwas, who we saw drop back down after taking that pit.
Well, Brady is back in first place. Done approximately 9 seconds away. Now I don't foresee that gap closing, considering that I don't think Dunn has pitted for tires. I think Dunn is on old tires.
That is correct. The current second and third place drivers have not pitted. I don't believe Angelo has either.
Now Angelo getting closer and closer to Ty. I would be worried if I was Ty. Angelo has some serious pace. Now, can he manage it on these tires? That is honestly the question.
One thing I will say, this race has shown that the pace of these drivers has improved from their practice. While we were expecting Darius and Gergo to possibly make a better recovery, Darius is still stuck in 5th place position, the highest he's gotten so far since his first initial error. And Gergo himself has only made it up to 8th position. And that's going to be the number 14 car of
Brandon Sizemore going off just a little bit there, but he managed to make the recovery, which is very good.
And for those that are currently seeing it off screen, we'll talk about who our drivers are that are in that bottom 4. Currently we have Matt Young in 11th place chasing after Noel. Brandon Sizemore is right behind him with Kevon in 13th and James McCormick in 14th. And again, Ty going off the track there.
Yep, went off track.
He's going to lose his 3rd place position now to Angelo. That's going to be upsetting for sure in these last 12 minutes.
Now, he probably was anticipating those tires to fall off a bit. Darius has to
Darius making the overtake. That was a little risky, but he gets it in.
Man, that was risky.
He really wants to put, yeah, because it looked like Ty was having a little bit of an error there, and he was forcing himself into that error, but sometimes that's what it takes to make the overtake. And currently we see the 007 of Jesus being chased down by Cody Canady once again. These two have been at it all session, with Cody trying to put on some pressure with the yellowed lights. I guess speaking of the lights, that'll lead to another question I have. Are you planning to run any nighttime races either in the RoadMaster or Bayou City Cup Shift E racing events?
No, sir. For these first, I guess you could call them test seasons. They're both season zero events. I wanted to keep things, you know, I wanted to keep the variables low, you know, easier point of
Completely
entry.
understandable. And a beautiful cutoff from Cody there as he cuts into the inside to go down the hill, blocking off Jesus from chasing after him. Not only have these two been putting on an incredible drive, they've been putting on an incredible fight as well. Both cars not really getting much distance from each other throughout the race. And it makes me wonder, as these drivers start to see how and where they drive in the packs, if maybe we'll start seeing them later down the line work together to catch up with these front runners. Because as we've seen, we've had drivers like Blake in the Bayou Cup Series make huge gaps, as well as Brady here today with his Porsche.
And Brady took the safe way out. He went ahead and pitted. He took
He
his
had the gap.
opportunity to
He's had the
pit.
cleanest race so far, for sure.
Matthew War was sacrificing every single position is what it looks like.
Ooh, and it looked like a little bit of debris on the track from, I believe, Kavan in the number 2 car.
Now, what I will say, Darius has a lot on his hands at the moment. He is 2.5 seconds behind Angelo. He could definitely pull off a podium position if he really locked in right now and gave it a go. As
Not only that,
Angelo
but if
is
Angelo puts
approaching.
on more pressure, yeah, I was gonna say, as Angelo puts on more pressure on Dunn, it could even lead him to have a chance to get into second place off of one opportunity.
Now that is definitely going to be a fight. I've been on track with Dunn, and Dunn does not give his position away. He will give you a fight for it. So I honestly anticipate Darius even potentially moving up into second here. If these two ahead of him start fighting, that 2.5 seconds will diminish, and he will be well within draft. So this is going to be an interesting conclusion to the race if Darius can keep his pace, and if Angelo can find a way to close that gap, which is what it
And
looks
speaking of
like
the
is happening.
opposite, I was going to say, with the opposite happening here for Jesus, unfortunately, Cody's been widening the gap for sure here. As we see another car in the background go off the track just a little bit. There's going to be Angelo attempting to pass one of the back markers. And again, that is the number 15 of Jeremy Spencer Dunn. I apologize, it's not a back marker. I'm so not used to seeing his car. But Angelo makes the overtake on Dunn. He really has been a sleeper this race. The camera has been letting him get away with a lot. But we can see it clearly planted on the side of his car. Dunn is chasing after Angelo in the Navy Ford. But Darius is not too far behind. We see the Shift E Racing logo on the hood. Although Angelo has a great exit out of the first turn and into the downhill of turn 2. Almost opening up the gap to 1 second total.
Dunn is going to fight.
Beautiful. He is, and this is some beautiful stuff happening here today at Motorsport Canada.
These two nearly bumper to bumper here. If the longer they keep this fight on, the more and more that gap is going to diminish between Darius.
Ideally, I think if Dunn wants to make the most out of this, he doesn't want to put the pressure on Angelo just quite yet. He wants to let Angelo lead until maybe the last 3 minutes, and that's when he may want to start his attack. Otherwise, yes, I do believe Darius is going to have a chance to catch up as he's dropped that gap below 2 seconds now.
Every turn these two take fighting, that's I see that gap diminish more and more. He's under 1.5 seconds away. He is approaching 1 second. Now, Darius needs to keep cool here. If Darius can keep cool here,
I think
he's
the podium is
real
in his
shot
future.
at second place. Which is incredible, might I add. Incredible considering how many times he has made a mistake this race. Less than a second there. Less than a second gap there between him and Dunn. And less than a second gap.
We're going to go ahead and take over the controller. We're going to go ahead and take it over so we can actually stay on this fight here at the end.
He's in the draft. He is definitely in the draft there. We are going to see some very close racing here, fellas.
And as we enter into the last 5 minutes of the race, we can see that the lap times are about 1:15 each, so expect about 4 laps left.
Dunn is
similar gap between the three.
Mustang sandwich at the moment.
You are right. It is no longer Ferrari versus Ford. It is McLaren versus Ford today.
Looks like Cody is closing that gap, and he has made the pass on Ty. So Cody is in 5th position at the moment.
That will put him in the top third of today's group. Officially, 15 drivers entered today, but only 14 made it on the track due to some rig limitations. But as we take a look, Darius has been slowly closing that gap to the car in front of him. While Angelo is pulling away, Dunn is going to have to fight off Darius here at the end for that 3rd place position now. Unless Angelo makes a mistake, I believe he's secured the 2nd place position with how much he's pulling away. But Dunn is in for a fight.
Keep it cool, Mr. Timms.
It's hard to do when you got the power of a Ford engine underneath you. He's built tough.
Ford tough.
Gadget a little bit of the grass to tilt in the car. And it looks like that tire degradation may be hurting Darius a little bit there as he wasn't able to keep the grip down like Dunn was in front of him. Although they're both approaching a back marker now, which can definitely make things a little more interesting. That is going to be the number 13 of Noel. Very kindly pulling over to the side to let these two finish off their race and pulling into their draft. Although this is going to be the move. Is Dunn going to cover the inside? No, he's not. He's going to let Darius through, but that's going to give him an advantage into the next turn.
Dunn is not going to give that up. He is not.
That's going to let Darius through.
Darius has
and Darius is through.
Darius has taken 3rd place.
Only 2 laps remain if we're calculating correctly. Angelo's still leading a little bit ahead with a 1.5 second gap on Darius. Dunn is going to have to do his best if he wants to make up the podium position. And Brady still once again quietly leading this race from afar with a 20-second gap to Angelo. Now that I think about it, we actually may see 3 laps remaining based on where he is on the track. It is very possible.
Yeah, these guys are setting 116s, 117s at the moment. Brady is on those fresher than everybody else tires is setting 116s at the moment. So it is very possible.
I think considering the mistakes he had earlier in the race, Darius is making the right choice to not pit. But He's definitely struggling for it. As we can see, he's going a little bit wider than we would normally see from earlier in this race. As you can see, that car just pushing itself down under braking with all that weight and downforce. But the sleek Ferrari body of Dunn is chasing after. That's going to be the white flag, so they are on the final lap. This is going to be the final chance for Dunn to take back the podium position from Darius Timms here today at Motorsport Canada in the RoadMaster Racing Series.
The white flag is up. Can Angelo hold it down for the next lap? That is the question. That is the
And
question.
I think the biggest show and tell of this race so far is looking at the licenses of each driver. I think it definitely shows that safety is not just about safety. It is about consistency, as our top 3 drivers are all A-ranked drivers at the moment. Although it looks like Dunn's gone a little bit wide in the uphill. I think that's going to give Darius the chance to pull away. Our intervals are gone. And as we say that, that is going to be Brady across the finish line. A big congratulations to Brady today. But we're going to stick with Angelo and Darius here.
Brady.
That was an incredible session for our first Endurance Series race of the season.
That was some serious driving from everybody out there. I'm proud of
There's
everybody.
Angelo across the line, securing the second, followed by Darius in third. Dunn in fourth. We're going to have Cody coming down here shortly as well. We'll go ahead and get a visual on him in a moment. That is going to be Cody right there, right across the finish line for his 5th place position. Jesus is going to be a little bit further behind him, following it up for 6th place. A couple of the back markers also racing in here, so we'll go ahead and go over the rest of the leaderboard. From what we see, we have Jesus in 6th, Matthew Warmaz in 7th, Garrigo in 8th, Ty Simon in 9th, Noel in 10th, Matt Young in 11th, Brandon Sizemore in 12th, James McCormick in 13th, and Kavan in 14th for today's race. Again, a huge congratulations to Brady. That was insane to see from our driver today as he continues to run around the laps, even though the race is done.
That 14-year-old has got some serious driving skills.
That is for sure, and it definitely is going to make our other drivers have a lot more to look at in the next coming race here in September.
Now, what I will say, just with some platform knowledge, you don't even get access to the GT3 races until you get to B class. So
That is correct. So our
he's
drivers that are driving in C class and below did a wonderful job today, considering it's not a car they normally get to drive.
exactly.
And as our last drivers make their way around the track, is there anything else you want to say today, Mr. Joshua South, aka Finesse, the host of Shift E Racing?
I will say I was looking forward to being out there with my boys today. We had some rig limitations that did not allow that, but I am very proud of everybody that went out there, gave it their all. Good job, guys. Seriously, Shifty Racing, I've seen you guys grow. I've seen you guys do some incredible things, and I look forward to the rest of this series. Our next race for Roadmaster is exactly a month from now. We're going to have 3 practice sessions between now and then on each Sunday. So you guys make sure you keep that practice going. This is not it, fellas. Remember, the payouts are dealt with every single race. So after this race, I'm going to make sure that I get this money situated for these guys. And we've got another month for people to put some work in and secure that bag for next race.
And
It's,
once again, I have been Rack Racing, your host today for the Shift E Racing Roadmaster Series. I do appreciate you having me once again, Joshua. It's always been a pleasure to work with you and race with you on the track.
hey man, the pleasure's all mine. You did a fantastic job today. I appreciate everything you do.
And to those who joined us in the Twitch stream today, we appreciate you as well for supporting the series as a viewer. Everything that's done as a viewer supports the series as well, so thank you very much for that.
All right, guys. Pieces.
Thank you all.